morning we have refuted, or the Gaudapadacharya has refuted, the cause and relation, the cause and effect, both are not there, he says. And again, hetu phala, the actions and the fruits. That is, karma and upasana are the actions that an individual does in the previous life, and as a result, fruits, he will be enjoying the body. That also he has refuted, telling father has born to a son. So now the opponent got angry. He says, you are deceiving us with words. So, see, I am giving another example, illustration. The seed and sprout. Now he is going to refute that also. So, the main subject matter now will be what we have already refuted, that he may tell something, and the seed and sprout as individuals he refutes, as a succession he refutes. He says, now succession, we say seed and sprout. From this sprout, again seeds will be coming. So again from this seed, sprouts will be coming. So we say is succession. But for the third seed, this is not equal to the first seed. And for this fourth sprout, first seed will not be there. It is from. So he says, succession also is not there. Individually also you cannot prove. So what we say, that father has born to a son, is correct, he says. All these things we are going to tell now. Sankhya followers says, effect is not different from cause. The followers of Sankhya says, effect, the world is not different from pradhana. Rather to say, effect, he says, is born. Effect is having a birth. How can the cause be eternal if it is taking a birth? How the cause be eternal? And he accepts the cause as eternal, pradhana. Parinami nitya, kutastha nitya. Two things he has uses. Unchangeable, eternal Purusha, and changing, eternal pradhana. That is, he says, parinami nitya and kutastha nitya. But what the Vedanta says? He says, when you see a snake on the rope is vivarta upadana karana. Though it is cause, it is not changing. And what is the snake? Parinami upadana karana. Rope is as it is, but it looks like a snake. That is called change or parinama in the instrumental cause. Rope So, as if it has taken a change, but it is not taking change. So, our theory is quite perfect, he says. Our theory is quite perfect. Change is imaginary, and away from this change has come. Whoever sees in him it is change is there, imagination is there, in him the world is there. In him, where is the ignorance? Who sees in him ignorance is there? So, from all these sides, he just refutes everything and simply concludes ajatavada. Nothing is born. If you say cause and effect, it is not correct. If you say hetu phala, it is not correct. If you say seed and sprout, it is not correct. So, all the things is having such a logic, and he is very shrewd. So, through logic, only ajatavad. That's why he says, nothing is born of any sort. Now he says, effect is born and eternal. How can it be? You are telling from the cause, effect is born. Then how the cause can be the eternal? If we ask, we are ready to give answer in non-dualism. Then how can the cause be eternal? He says, effect is born from the unborn cause. See, birthless cause. The effect is born from the unborn cause. And no example to be cited. If you say like that, you cannot give any example. No illustration. If the born effect is viewed as born from another born thing, it leads to ad infinitum. Then, if you say a thing which is already existing, that is born, and from that other things are born. That also you cannot say. It goes to anavastha. So, dualist says, the effect is the source of cause. What is the effect? The body is the source of cause. And cause is the source of the effect. So, they assert beginninglessness for both cause and effect. See, from cause effect is coming, effect is because of cause is because of the effect, and again say both are eternal. How is it possible? And what he says, the dualist, they assert beginninglessness for both cause and effect. So, he is also refuted. If the effect is the origin of the cause, effect has come from the cause. And cause is the origin of effect. Now what you say? From the cause, effect has come. From the effect, cause has come. We are telling the same thing. The father has born from the son. Why you get angry? What you are telling, that we are translating, but in other words. From effect, cause from effect. So, this only we are telling. That how he proves now. That is, we take as illusion or imaginary, but they take them as real. Cause and effect are real. They say At the same time, from the cause effect has come, from the effect cause has come. They do say so. They say so. But at the same time, they say the effect also is real, the cause also is real. The duality that the individual is real as well as the effect God is also real. So there comes the difference. That's all. From direct perception, now the opponent is telling, from direct perception, we see the cause and effect. So we should accept but should not refute. The opponent is telling. So he says, if you say so, the proponent is telling, if you say so, that is, since you are seeing, you want to accept the cause and effect. Then we are telling, sambhave hetu phalayor eshitavya kramastvaya yugabat sambhave yasmad asambandho vishanavat. If cause and effect be possible, the order in which they originate has to be found. You tell me whether cause is first or effect is first. Because you are telling, I am seeing the cause and effect, that's why I want to accept. All right, accept. Just let me know which is first, whether cause is the first or the effect is first. You cannot tell. The order in which they originate has to be found out by you. For if they originate simultaneously, because you cannot tell, so you say simultaneously both the cause and effect were there, then there is no relationship between the two, as it is the case with the horns of a cow. Both cow is having two horns. Both come at a time. So how can you say this is the cause and this is the effect, this is the cause? So for refutation, you have very good logic. So, because you are telling, I am seeing the cause and effect, then let me know what is first. Oh, first means it is difficult. If you say cause, you should effect. If you say effect, you go to the cause. So simultaneously, both at a time, then it is like horns. And if you say, by direct perception, I am seeing the cause and effect. What he says, the opponent? From direct perception, I am seeing the cause and effect. If you say, because of the direct perception, then cause must be first, and then effect must be later. Without cause there is no effect. Then gives the reason. Then you cannot prove which is first and which is afterwards. If you say, I am seeing the cause and effect, all right, very good, you are a very good boy. And if you say you are seeing, then cause must be first, effect must be later. And where from this effect has come? From the cause. Where from that cause has come? From the effect. So, which is first you cannot decide. That is why, then what you say, I say simultaneously. Both the cause and effect are there. Because you cannot prove which is first, which is second, or later. That's why you say simultaneously. Simultaneously also you cannot prove the cause and effect. Yugapad sambhave yasmad asambandho vishanam. The cause and effect relation is not possible, not logical. So he puts a question to refute. What? Yatha. Yathokto virodho na yuktaha abhyavagantam iti chen manyase. If you think that the contradiction pointed out above is not fit to be accepted, we say. Contradiction that still is there in his mind. Father has come from son. So he says, if you think that the contradiction pointed out above is not fit to be accepted, you don't want to accept that, then we say. But we say, if the cause and effect be possible, the order in which they originate has to be found out by you, because you are accepting. Then, if they originate simultaneously, there is no relationship between the two. As the case with the horns of a cow. Sambhave hetu phalayor utpattau. Now the dualist, he says, the reason for birth is past actions. And what is the fruit's body? Forming the body. Though we do accept in the relative plane, but in the absolute, we don't accept anything. Only one thing is there. No creation, no dissolution, no actions, no birth, no cause, no effect, nothing is there. Only one thing is there. Then only you can conclude the non-dualism. Even if something is there besides that, if you accept, there will be no non-dualism. He is accepting dualism. The dualist, he says, the supreme is real, the individual is real. How they have come? Because cause and effect is there. What is the cause? The previous actions. What is the effect? This body. He says both real. Then if both are real, which is first, let me know. He cannot tell. Whether actions are first or the body is first. Actions are giving the body and body are giving the actions. Why you are eat? To live. Why you are living? To eat. It goes circle.
According to followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Puja, etc., the individual self is the body. What exactly is real?
It is, he says, it is a speck as the fire. When the fire is there, then so many small specks will be coming out. What you call that is? Sparks. So, the jiva is like the spark and the God is like big fire. Amsa amsi bhava, he says. Though so, the spark can never be the whole fire. What we say, there is no spark. It is not different from that. It is one. That we say, but they don't accept. That's why they... And that is accepted by many because they are having so many desires first. Putreshna, Lokeshna, Vitteshna. And Staying in ignorance, they don't identify that we are in ignorance. We say they are ignorant because of the desires, but they don't accept. So, we are saying, we are praying to God, we go to the temple, we are doing havan, so we are very happy, we are doing everything, which gives us liberation. That is their thought. So, it is. But here, though we do accept in the relative plane all those things, we are just telling in the absolute plane we don't accept anything. Why? Because the scriptures say the oneness. I am Atma Brahma. That we read. So, we want to prove that oneness. You want to prove the duality. So, do whatever you like. We are not restricting you. We are not, telling that you should come and sit with us and follow what you say. We are not imposing that our ideas or thoughts on you. Whatever you like, you do. But what you say, that is not correct. This much we say. Left to you. Even after telling so much of Gita, 700 slokas, 2.5 hours continuous discussion, what Krishna says, Yethechasi tatha guru, whatever you want that you do. I am not imposing. I just put the facts. These are the facts, this is illusion, this is not delusion, this is Atman, this is Brahman. Whatever you want, you accept. The same thing. Yethechasi tatha guru. Even most of the masters are like that. They put the facts before you, whatever you want, you accept. But Sri Ramakrishna says, there are three types of masters, 3 types of doctors. First he says doctor. He just gives the medicine and sends him away. Afterwards he is not going to inquire whether you are cured or whether you have taken the medicine or not. But the middle doctor says a little bit higher than that lower one. He says, have you taken medicine? He asks whether it has cured or not. He asks. Second. What is the third grade, first grade? He says, he sits on his chest and puts the medicine in his mouth. So, like that, teachers are very few. Most of nowadays we see so many ashrams everywhere. The pontiff, the main pontiff, never asks, what is your progress? How far you have progressed? What are your spiritual practices? Even our Swamiji, at times he asks about the studies. And 125 students are sitting. When he puts question, so somebody will be answering. But then he is little clever, you see. He says, only this particular group, main pillars are there, so this group should answer, that group should answer, that group should answer. So 6-5 groups he makes. So I want answer from the others, you should not tell anything. Keep mum, he says. Just he wanted to know whether they understand or not. So, that is the study center. But nobody is going to ask, what time you are getting up? Are you getting up at 4 or not? Are you doing japam or meditation or not? Are you reflecting on the scriptures or not? Nobody is going to ask. So, what I mean to say is, the first grade of teachers are very less. Nobody is bothered about the progress of the disciples or the followers or those who are staying in their own ashram. They wanted to uplift their own ashram. This is everywhere. This is common. So very few teachers we get, those who are say, want the upliftment of the students or the disciples. So I am fortunate enough to get two teachers like that. I told you already, Harihara Tirthaji and then Kailasanandji. I already told. But the 10th Pontiff, he used to tell, oh, this fellow wanted to lecture. That's why he's noting down everything he says. That much. Because I used to sit by his side. Your friend is coming. Huh? It understood. So now, this Sri Krishna knows how many years back? More than 5,000 years back he knows. Simply he says 5,000 years. He knows this fact. That's why he says, Uddhared Atman Atmanam, you have to lift your own self. Simply he told. At least in some places, they do ask, have you taken food or not? But in other places, that also they don't ask. They are not bothered about others. So he says, if you say at the same time, the cause and effect is there, then also it is not correct. So, he says, Sambhave. Sambhave hetu phalayo rutpato krama eshitavya stvaya anvestavyo hetuhu. If you say the actions are the cause for the birth, then succession you should know. Succession? Succession you should know. Krama, yesitavyaha. And what is the cause you should know? Purvam paschat phalam cha iti. Which is first and which is afterwards. And what is the reason and what are the fruits? You should know what is first. Itasya yugapat sambhave yasmad hetu phalayo karyakaranattvena asambandhaha. Because you cannot answer which is first and which is afterwards. So if you accept both at a time, that is also not possible. Yatha yugapat sambhavato savya itara go vishaniyoho. The right side and left side, this what you call hands. If cause and effect be possible, the order of their origination has to be found out by you. If you say, why he says in day-to-day life, in the relative plane, I am having the direct perception of the cause and effect, then if cause and effect be possible, order of their origination has to be found out by you. So, what is the cause? You should know. That is to say, first the cause and then the effect. Because you see directly you are seeing the cause and effect. So, you should be telling first cause and after effect. For if they originate together, then again controversy. Then there is no relationship between the cause and effect. As in the case of two horns of a cow which grow together on the right and the left. If they both start At a time, then there is no relation of cause and effect. Now he is giving the logic. Hetu phale kramavati कार्यकारत्वात् कार्याकारत्वात् व्यतिरेकेण विषाणवत्. He says, now this particular logic is given by the opponent because he wanted to prove through the actions body's form. So he says, hetu phale. Hetu is the reason, actions. Phala is the creation of the body. Hetu phale kramavati. They are having succession. Karyakaratvat. Because the relationship is there as cause and effect. Not like the horns of cow, just in the opposite. Opposite in the means they are not at a time, they are in different times, so cause and effect is there, so the succession is there. That is says. Order is necessary. So if cause and effect be possible, the order of their origination has to be found out by you, which is first, which is afterwards. That is to say, first the cause and then the effect. For if they originate together, then there is no relationship between the cause and effect, as in the case of the two horns of a cow, which grow together on the right and the left. So, how he is refuting the dualist? He says, the cause is the actions and effect is the formation of the body. Which is first? Let me know. He cannot tell. At a time, that also he cannot prove. So, this is the argument. If there is no relation between, now again is coming, between the actions and the fruits of the body, for union, he is giving the logic. The cause is not established, so how effect comes? Now again he is arguing, you see, if there is no relationship between the cause and the effect, that is actions and the body form, for union, he is giving logic. What logic? The cause is not established. And you cannot see the cause. Have you seen how many actions he have done previously? Why the body has come? You ask him, the dualist, he also cannot express. Only the Patanjali says, the yogis, those who are having deep meditation and concentration, they can know what is their past, how they have come. But if he remembers all the past lives at that time, then what will happen? He will go mad. Even the yogi, he understands. On whichever particular point he concentrates, that much he can know. But because he is having a deep concentration, that does not mean all the previous samskaras of all the births, at that time he will be knowing. He knows something. So the cause is not established. So how the effect comes? So the relation of cause and effect is not real. So there is no order, succession is not there. How? That is asking. Katham asambaddaha. Why they are not correlated? He is telling. He is asking. You are telling, if they are having some relation, the cause and effect. So, you have to establish the cause first. That you have not established. And then, how can you prove that effect is there? That also you cannot prove. Now, the opponent himself is asking, Katham asambadha itya. How are they not related to each other? He says, succession is not possible. How and how and why? That he is asking. From cause, fruits will come. The fruits are under control of the cause. But cause is not established. So, it is not famous also. Who says that he is having so many previous actions? That's why only from the effect we infer. Some small children are there. Somebody can play tabla. Say 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, and somebody can play violin at the age of 5, at the age of 3. How they learned so quickly, that we infer in it previously. And what Lord Shankara says, now he is having this passion from the beginning. How and why? Because he has done all the actions that are to be done in his previous life, and also the upasana he did. So oscillations are not there, and his mind is purified. That's why he got this passion in this life. That he has proved. This we only infer. What you have done in your previous life, what you are going to tell, I don't know. Simply so. So, the cause is not established, he says. And it is not famous also, he says. We do not see from a thing which is not existing, asat, just like the horn of a hare, any effect is produced from the horn of a hare. If you say the asat, that is, it is not there, and if you accept it as the cause, effect will not be there. Because the cause itself is not there, how the effect it can produce? The cause is not famous, cannot be found, so it cannot produce the fruits like effect. But in the doctrine of Sadvadi, he says that everything is there even before the effect. The fruits have come out of unreal cause. It says, but in the doctrine of Sadvadi, the fruits come out of unreal cause. Even then, how the connection of the fruits and actions are, you can make. If you ask the answer, nahi. No. So, katham sambandha, how they are not related, that is answering. Falad utpadyamana san nate hetu prasiddhyati aprasiddha katham hetu phalam utpadishyati. Your cause that is produced from an effect cannot be established. What he says? Your cause. That he says, I am seeing the cause and effect, you told, opponent. So now the proponent says, your cause. Your cause that is produced from an effect cannot be established. How will a cause that is itself not established produce the effect? How will a cause that is itself not established produce an effect? Now, he says, what is the cause? Dharma and adharma, punya and papa, virtue and vice, good and bad. And what is the phala? That is the body. So, since you cannot establish the cause, you cannot establish the effect also. And because we are seeing the effect, we infer the cause. If you say so, we are also telling the same thing. But you say the effect is real, we say it is illusion and imaginary, this much contradiction. But he never accepts. He says that is real, this is real. That's why in dualism, they have to follow all the rules of worship and all the rites of the scriptures, and then upasana also they should do. He says, then only he will realize. And what is their realization? That is also very... He says, sa lokya, sa yujya, sa mipya, sa rishta. He says, you will go to the Vaikuntha loka, sa lokya, sa yujya, you will be there with him. Or you will become one of the instruments of his. This car, something you become, this thing. Sa yujya, sa lokya, sa mipya, you will be with him. And sarishta, like this, 4 types of they give. Sarupya, same form. Now, you see, when the scripture says only one thing is there, only one type of realization, how you have made it 4? No answer. And they always maintain the difference. They always maintain the difference. Jinyat swato alabdhatmakat falad utpadyamana san sasavishanadireva asato nahetu prasidyati janmana labhyate. As the cause is produced from an unreal effect, which is like the horn of hair, and which cannot be obtained by any means, it cannot be established, meaning it does not take birth. As the cause is produced from the unreal effect. What is the unreal effect? The horn of a hair, which cannot be obtained by any means, it cannot be established, meaning it does not take birth. Alabdhatmako aprasiddha san sasavishanadi kalpaha tava katham phalam utpadayishyati. How will your cause, which like the horn of a hair does not exist and which cannot be established, produce an effect? And nahi itaretara apeksha siddhyoho sasavishana kalpayoho karyakarana bhavena sambandha kvachid drishtaha anyatha va itabhiprayaha. Never is it seen the 2 things, each depending upon the other for its emergence, which are similar to the horn of hair, becomes related either as cause and effect or in any other way. So, this cause and effect are hetu phala. In no way it is possible. That's why, yes, completely refuted. If the effect and cause are not in one time, so one cannot stay 1 second before. So, like the non-existing horn of a hare, there will be no relation of the cause and effect. Now, if you say something is cause and something is effect, the cause should be before the effect. Previously, according to the logic I told, even if the Buddhist accepts that everything is staying for 1 second, Kshanika Vada. Say, Kshanika means 1 second you can say. Kshanika, 1 second. Momentary. But then, at least to see a thing, 3 seconds are necessary. 3 moments, say. The moment of birth, the moment of stay, the moment of delusion. So how can you say it is only 1 moment? You cannot say. Even for a thing to see the produced second, created second, existing second, and the dissolution second, moment. 3 should be there. So if you say something is cause, it should be before few seconds of the effect. If the effect and cause are in one time, so one cannot stay. If you say both are in one time, then both cannot stay. Only one thing will be staying. So, like the non-existing horn of hair, there will be no relation of cause and effect. If you say both are staying in one particular time, one time, then there will be no relation. If it is there, we can see. If they are there, we have to see, but we don't see. Now, if you say, now the dualist is, so he is taking the support of scripture. If we say, punyo vai punyena karmana bhavati, by good you will be getting good birth, by bad you will be getting bad birth, the Shruti says. Now I take the support of the Shruti. Then you see the answer. If you say, oh, he says, above it is 17, and in the translation it is 17, but in the middle in Sanskrit it is given 27. So, make it 17, like above. The Karika 17 in Sanskrit, in the end 17 was written, but the Bhashya in the ending 27 is written. So you cannot jump all of a sudden 20 Karikas, 10 Karikas. Then correlation should be there, so 17, 17. Now he has taken the support of the scripture, Punyo vai punyena. Even we say good, good, bad, bad, good yields good, bad yields bad. Then he says, the virtue, etc. are the cause. The Shruti cannot prove, Shruti is not the proof for impossibility, inconsistent. So, you should tell which is first. Now when I am asking whether cause is first or the effect is first, if you take the support of the Shruti, Shruti is not the proof for impossibility. What is impossibility? You just tell which is first. So, this particular Shruti say that in the relative plane, everything has been created, adhyaropa, and then apavada. That's why in Chandogya we see 5 chapters containing karma and upasana. You are telling Upanishad Brahma Jnana, why you break our head telling so much, 5 chapters? You simply go to the 6, 7, 8 Brahma Jnana, why you are telling all these things? Then he says, you see, the relativity has been accepted by most of the ignorant people. Most of the ignorant people, they have accepted the relative world. So all of a sudden, I cannot take all of them to the non-duality. So I wanted to take them by step. For this, we gave already the illustration. If you want to go to terrace, roof, you have to go step by step. All of a sudden, what is that? But like Spider-Man, you cannot go. So, you have to go step by step. And everybody cannot be a Spider-Man. So, step by step in the sense, first, you have to do the actions, purify your mind, then little detachment you will be getting. From what? From the relative objects. Then oscillations will be there, so you have to follow the worship and upasana. After controlling the mind from the oscillations, your dispassion will increase. And without the base of discrimination, this also will not increase. One who is having full discrimination, he will be having dispassion. So after that, you will be having this, say you will be giving up the putreshana, lokeshana, vitteshana. That is the whole world, he says. When you give up the world, then what you have to do? Sannyasa sravanam kuryat. Then come to the knowledge portion. So before that, all these things are necessary. You have to go step by step. In Taittiriya, Anandavalli, we had a long discussion. Sruti cha kamata, Sruti cha kamata. First he starts with a human being, then the God, then the gods which are created for the creation, then the Indra, then his Guru Brahaspati, then Brahma, then Virat, like this will be going on, increasing the happiness 100 times, 100 times, 100 times, he says. Why you are telling so simply, I am Atma, Brahma, this is everything, bliss. Hmm? So, all of a sudden, the ignorant person cannot think of it or can experience it. That's why they go slowly. Step by step, we have to go. To go step by step, they have given, even in the Upanishads, so many Upanishads, so much Upasanas, taking that the most of the people are in the relative world. They also should get the benefit of the Upanishads. So, take them slowly. So now, this particular Shruti that you have quoted is for the relative world. If you do good, you will be getting a good birth. But we are not talking of the relativity. We are talking of the absolute. I am Atma Brahma. So, the Shruti cannot be the proof for impossibility or that inconsistent. It cannot be the proof. So, you should tell which is first, cause or effect. That you should tell. Yadi hetoho phala siddhisya hetutah katrat purva nishpannam yasya siddhirapekshaya. If the cause emerges from the effect, and if the effect emerges from the cause, whichever the two has arisen first, on which depends the emergence of the other. So you should tell, taking the support of the scripture, because scripture is telling so many things, it is telling the creation also. So, if you don't want realization, you be with the creation. Who is going to stop you? Everybody is having his own imagination. Swatantra karta. That is one small aphorism in the grammar. Each individual is independent. Whatever he wants, that he will do. You do whatever you like. So many people are drinking and dancing. Who is going to stop them? So, Swatantra Karta. So, if you want, you be in the world, you do whatever you like, but that is not the proper way for the highest realization. Because the scripture says, by logic also, we have proved oneness. Then only you will be getting the highest realization. No, we don't want realization. All right. Who is going to stop you? You are independent to think and do. There is one Swami, and he says, you see, I am doing so much of work for the society and for this thing, that thing, I am doing so much of work. I am getting so much of name and fame. For this life, this is sufficient. The realization or this moksha, even it comes after 5, 6, but I am not worried, he says. All right, who is going to stop him? And in this particular, say, context or the subject, I gave one illustration previously. No, I am not going to ask. No, I am not. The illustration is this. There was a big Swami that The then Vice President Swami Yatiswarananda ji, who was in charge of Bangalore Mutt for many years. He was the direct disciple of Swami Brahmananda ji. So he used to tell this illustration. So he says there was a big Swami, and he was doing the mission, Ramakrishna mission's work so much, and he has become so famous, taking care of the so many schools, colleges, hospitals, so many things. And he has become little famous also. So what the Swami Yatiswaranji says, when he has left the body, he directly went to Vaikuntha, Vaikuntha Loka. And there Vishnu was sitting. And the Swamiji is asking, give me liberation. Then Vishnu asked, what were you doing in the world? You don't know me. So much of work I used to do. I have constructed so many schools, so many colleges, so many universities, so many hospitals. Everybody knows me. Acha, very good. Don't worry. Now you will not get liberation. Then you go and do again the same work. He asks why? Because you say the ego, I am doing, I did. Your ego has not eradicated, so you are not eligible for liberation. Go back. So, here, it is the individual's interest. Which you want, that you do. If you want liberation, be with the scriptures. You contemplate on them, and you meditate on them, and you try to experience what the scriptures have told. That's why he says, if the cause emerges from the effect, and if the effect emerges from the cause, whichever the two has arisen first, on which depends the emergence of the other. Now, he has quoted a scripture. Punyo vai punyena karmana. If you accept that as the highest reality, then there will be a contradiction. Anyadartam tucham neha nasti kinchana. How you will explain these things? If you say, if you are attached to this particular scripture, quotation, punya vai punyena karmana. All right. Then how you will explain this thing, neha nasti kinchana? Anyadartam tucham vinasi. And there he says, Krishna, anityam asukam lokam, dukkhalayam asashvatam. And you are telling, I want to get attached to all the good works, and I will be getting good birth. So which you want to follow? The contradictions will be there. That's why here the Gaudapadacharya says, for impossibility, the scripture is not the proof. Because it is telling so many things. What is the essence that you have to take? What is the essence that much you should take and that you should follow? And many are there, they don't know the real meaning of the scriptures. That I am Atma Brahma, Raham Brahmasmi, they may say, but in reality they don't understand. They misunderstand. Why? See, in day-to-day life, that everything which we are experiencing is through the mind. We are grasping everything through the mind. And this particular thing is hidden within you. And you have to completely control your mind. Then only you will be able to experience. But that nobody wants to do. That's why scripture says, Kaschid dhiraga pratyagatmane mekshat avruta chakshuramrutattvamichan. At best, one or two are there. That even Sri Krishna also says in the 7th chapter, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschidhyata siddhiyata tamam siddhana. And in Kathopanishad they say, Kaschid dhiraha. One or two, those who are very discriminative by nature, they only go introvert, they say. Oh, and everybody is carrying so many impressions of their past that all of a sudden they cannot remove. So they accordingly, they follow. Now he says, asambandhata doshena apoditepi hetufalayo karyakarana bhave yadi hetufalayor anyonya siddhir abhyupagamyate eva tvaya katrat purva nishpannam hetufalayor yasya paschat bhavena siddhi syat purva siddhi apeksha tad bruhi. In spite of the causal relation between the cause and the effect, on account of the defect that they cannot be related, if it is still held by you that there is mutual interdependence between the cause and the effect, then tell which of the two, the effect and the cause, has arisen first, depending upon which the succeeding one arises. This is the meaning. There is a defect, they say in the logic, that is called anyonya ashraya. That is called anyonya ashraya. Anyonya ashraya. So they are interdependent. He is using a word, particular word. Interdependence or interdependent. Mutual. That is called anyonya ashraya. So, when you first establish the cause, then effect will be established. If you establish the effect, then the cause will be established. Which is first? What you wanted. So, the mutual interdependence is there. That is the defect. Even according to the logic. That you cannot say. Atra etanna sekyate vaktumiti manyase. This you cannot tell if you think that it is not possible to tell. Then he starts scolding. He says, you are a fool. You cannot tell. Like that, he is just slightly giving to the dualist. This we will do tomorrow.